Right, hello folks. I am testing out my new little microphone here with its fluffy little muff, in the hope that you can hear me a little bit better. I'm new to the YouTube and doing all these videos, and I've just posted one and the sound quality was appalling. Mainly because I have a dog that likes to snore, who's down there at the moment. He's just had his walk, so snoring is about to commence. I'll give it about 5 minutes. If you're here for that, great. Hopefully you might not hear him as much because it's quite loud. He's a tiny dog, large volume. Also, I have a fan going around in the background. We're having a bit of a heat wave here in the UK. I'll talk about what that means for us in the UK in a moment, but first off, let's just see whether this microphone's actually working and you can hear me over and above the noise, because it's quite loud. Afternoon. I can't figure out whether these microphones actually work or not. Anybody got any experience? I've recorded a couple of videos and the sound quality was not great, mainly because, like I have now, I've got a fan going around in the back because we're having a heat wave here in the UK and it's a little bit warm. Plus I have a very furry dog, and I mean, he's probably going to start snoring in a minute. He's just had a walk. He gets hot. So my fan's going around, and on a video that I posted recently, my first official video on YouTube, took me ages. Oh, let's not get into that because it will be here for hours, but the sound quality was really pants, and I hadn't got a microphone. I was just using the microphone on my phone. And because, again, complete amateur, I'd got the telly on and I hadn't realised for the last, there's about a minute, 2 minutes of something random. I think it was the rivals. Thankfully it was no rude bits. But then I realised I muted it. And I was able to adapt the sound quality when I was editing. Editing, my God, that's a whole new world. Anyway, tangent, Heather, tangent. So I thought I'd buy a microphone. Now, these weren't expensive. They were off Amazon. Here is the brand name. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. There you go. Can you see that? And they came with two microphones. One that has the foam on and one that's got a detachable fluffy muff. And a charging cable and clips, so that you can pretty much use it as a podcast. One person can wear one microphone, one person can wear the other. And the green light's on, which means it's paired, and the green light's on the receptor that's going into the back of the phone. But I'm not convinced it's really helping. I mean, I'm holding it here so that it can't get much closer. So that was rude. I shouldn't have done that. Apologies. But you get my drift. It's less than 10 centimetres away from my mouth. I don't speak particularly loudly. That's probably part of the problem. But if I clip it down here, which is where it's meant to go, and I see all the YouTubers using their microphones down here, I can't hear a difference. So I'm not convinced I've done this right. I may need to go back to, I'd say the instructions, but quite frankly, there weren't any. Well, no, there's a lie. There is a user manual, and it pretty much said how to turn it on, and what all the buttons were. So I just did what most people do and pressed the buttons. But I just don't know. I feel like something is clearly incorrect. Let me read what this says. So it says, step 1, connect the receiver to the phone. Check. You can't see it, but it's connected to the phone. It's physically connected to the bottom of the phone. I'm using an iPhone 15 Pro. Turn on the switch for 3 seconds, then the blue flash within 1 minute. If there is no pairing with the transmitter, will automatically shut down. Well, it's done the flash. It's now on green. Excuse me, bit of hay fever. Long press the microphone switch key and the indicator becomes green. Well, you can probably see there is a little green light there. Pairing is successful. Fandabidozy. At this point, the receiver indicator light becomes green. It is green. Step 3. The indicator light on the receiving end is always on, and the mobile phone can use the microphone to pick up the sound by opening the camera, live video and other apps. Well, I've obviously got the camera open because I'm now recording a video. I'm using the front-facing camera, but that shouldn't make a difference because the microphones are the microphones. And that, folks, is the totality of the instructions. I'm just not convinced it's very clear. Now the fan, it's a tower fan, it's a tall fan. It's about 2 meters away. It's not particularly loud though, but because there's nothing else happening in the house and the dog's yet to start snoring, it probably is just going to come across as white noise, but I would have thought having the microphone, it would make it clearer. So I'm going to pause and play this back and see. I'm just not convinced. Like I said, I didn't buy an expensive one. I think they were on offer, and I think it was about a tenner in the UK, £10. I don't know what that would be anywhere else. It was on offer. I think it was meant to be. I think it was about 50% off. So that might be telling me why they might be rubbish. That's why they were 50% off. But I thought, well, a microphone's a microphone. I'll just give it a go. If it makes a difference, great. And then I'll invest in a better one if I actually do well and commit to doing these videos. But at this moment in time, I'm not sure. I don't know. Let me pause and play it back. It might be a raving success and I might worry about nothing, but let's have a go. Well, I've just played that video back. And I can't really tell the microphone's on. I've purposely turned the fan off. And if I move this and I put it down and I disconnect the receiver, so the microphone and the receiver, and I turn them both off and I put them down there, I bet you can't tell anything different. So I'm now in a dead quiet house. I've turned the fan off. Dog isn't snoring yet. Cat is eating her food in the kitchen, which is next door. So you might hear some tinkling. There's nothing else going on. And now we're just using the microphone on the actual phone itself. I'm just not convinced. I'm going to record a couple of trial videos. I'm going to test some pens out and I'll keep the microphone on. I'll turn the fan off and we'll see what the sound quality is like. But so far, I'm not very impressed. Now, like I said, this brand wasn't recommended. I normally would get the box out again. Normally I read all the reviews. I like to read all the reviews and pick the one that I want, but it was on offer and I just thought I'll give them a whirl for £10. I don't recommend. I recommend microphones because I have used some at work and they've been similar to this. They were just clip-ons. I don't know what brand they were. And they definitely got rid of the background noise and it made it really clearer. And they were simple design like this. They just, one receiver clipped into the phone and then the microphone sat on the person's lapel. Exactly the same. So I know the principle of the setup works, but don't recommend these, I'm afraid. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna persevere. I'm gonna try a couple of videos sitting in the quiet here before the dog starts snoring. And I can adjust the sound quality in an editing suite afterwards. which is a bit of a faff, but I know I can do that if I need to focus specifically on my voice. But so far, I'm not impressed with those microphones at all. I am gonna get another set because I think I've just got dud ones, and I'll chalk it up to experience. I mean, I've only had them a week. I could send them back. I don't like sending stuff back once I've used them, but I just don't think they're actually working. Well, the test will be listening to this now. You are probably, the camera's about 30 centimeters away from me. The fan is off, like I said. There isn't anything else in the house making any noise, but I bet you this is clearer than the microphones were. If that's the case, what do you think? Should I just return them? I bought them from Amazon. Most things in my life get bought from Amazon. I do love that shop. I know all the negatives that come with it. I appreciate that, but as a woman who works full time, incredibly convenient. What do? Do I try another brand? And you know, if there's any that you guys use and you'd like to recommend them, please drop me a DM in one of my social media platforms or pop a comment below this video. I'm really interested into what's good. I don't want to be spending hundreds and hundreds of pounds, but I don't mind spending a lot more than what I just have. Like I said, 10 quid. I think they were meant to be like 20 some odd, but I don't mind spending, you know, a bit more if I get a product that actually works. Right now I've potentially just spent 10 quid and it's, or 10 pounds for those who don't know what quid is, 10 pounds, and it's just been a waste of money. So what do you think? Do I just send them back, chuck it up, or just chalk it up to a loss and chuck them in the bin? Or I might give them to a friend's kids. They might just enjoy playing with them. Either way, they're not for me. They're not. I don't think they're adding any value. But yeah, if you guys have got some that you recommend, or a particular brand that you've tried and tested and you think they're really good, then please let me know, because I am genuinely interested, and I'm open to suggestions. So far, these ones, they're a no from me, I'm afraid. Better luck next time. See you guys later. Bye.